Coming up.
Imposter Syndrome, what was that? We didn't know what that means.
As a recent brilliant graduate, I'm ready to take the workplace by storm. But first, I have a few questions. So I found some smart professionals to help me answer some questions. Welcome to my first job series. So I first had the term imposter syndrome when I was at university, and it's come up again with my friends who just started new jobs. Now I can't relate, super smart, super awesome, but I figured I'd bring it to you guys. Now I doubt it, but did you experience imposter syndrome in your first job? Do you even know what it is?
Imposter Syndrome, what was that? We didn't know what that means. And we were feeling like we got this.
That's right, Jessica, we've got this. Eve, you had the long job description. Did you experience imposter syndrome?
I really likely just never had to feel any imposter kind of syndrome. I started my first job with a certain level of confidence, right? And from a technical standpoint, I knew I was skilled for the type of work that I was doing.
Eve's my man. If there's one thing I have in droves, it's confidence. Maybe don't ask about the skill. I'm feeling pretty good about my prospects.
I think what it is that belief or that thought that you're not good enough for where you are. Everybody goes through that.
Well, clearly not everyone. But you're so impressive. How did you experience it?
I was interviewing people who had 10 years experience. And as I was doing that, right, or maybe I was getting ready, reading through the person's CV, I was just asking myself, I was like, what right do you have to to conduct this interview? Like, this person has been working, some had been working longer than I had been alive, so it was quite, it was scary.
I wouldn't have guessed you ever felt that way. Any more surprises?
Okay.
You too?
I think I was one of two from my university to be recruited. And I think that was the thing that was more daunting for me is, did they pick right? Am I up to the job? Did they make a mistake in the hiring process?
Why would you even think that?
Another way of calling it is just insecurity. I mean, I felt insecure about my capabilities with respect to my peers.
I don't even for a second believe they were more capable than you.
A lot of us who kind of feel insecure about our capabilities, it's often because we just take for granted the things that we do really, really well and we discount them.
How can you even forget how awesome you are? I could never.
The workplace can be very intimidating, and you look around and you see these very impressive people with very impressive resumes, with long track records of professional success, and you wonder, do I fit in here?
I guess I can see how a new environment with impressive people can be intimidating. Okay, I'll watch out for it at the beginning of my first job.
I'll say when I started right off the bat from college, I'm not gonna lie. I left college feeling like a superwoman. I think after year one working, I really started to feeling it, especially when I was starting to run meetings.
Excuse me?
I didn't feel it on my first job, not at all.
What happened?
I suppose it started when I was moving more towards management consulting.
When my role was very minimal in my first year, that I didn't have many face-to-face actual projects in me, I didn't feel that way. But the more I became visible in the company, the more people were seeing me, the more meetings I was running, the more I started to feel it.
So you're telling me it's not just a first job thing?
If you step into a new workspace, even if it's not your first job, there are always going to be some forms of imposter syndromes.
From position to position, there are moments where you will feel that imposter syndrome.
Oh wow, this is a lot. I'm a little more worried about this than when I started the conversation. I was confident that I wasn't going to experience imposter syndrome because I hadn't in the past, but it sounds like there's no time limit to when it can get you, especially if you keep making progress. While I'm still hoping to go the Eves and Jessica route, on the off chance that I don't, I need to know how to navigate it. Thanks for watching. I'd like to know your imposter syndrome story. Did it start early in your career or creep up on you later on? Next time on my first job series, I asked the professionals how they navigate imposter syndrome, asking for a friend.
It does get better.
The imposter syndrome is something that kind of never goes away.
What got me through it was a really good friend of mine who told me,
Nah, not now. That's for the next episode.